it's Steve from SalesStrong. Welcome to another video on how to build a world-class sales team. Today's topic is on the ultimate guide to setting targets. Now, over 5 decades of research have suggested that there's real power in making sure that we set targets and set goals. And I've condensed that into 4 key outcomes written by Locke and Latham researchers in this area. And they are: goals serve a directive function. So once a goal is set, people are motivated and inspired to move towards that goal as long as it's important enough for them. And the second one is goals have this energizing function, that if we really value that goal, we're going to keep going, we're going to be energized. The third one is they affect persistence. So even if there are obstacles in our way, then we're going to overcome those obstacles and we're going to make sure that we try and achieve those goals. And then finally, goals affect action indirectly as well as directly, which means that opportunities pop up when we're really clear on the goal that maybe we hadn't considered before that would allow us to achieve that goal. Now, in terms of how big a goal to set, many people will say set really unrealistic goals and therefore people will strive, and at least, if we headed off for Mars, we'll land on the moon. Well, I have a different opinion. I think you set a goal that is challenging enough to stretch people, and if I can use this elastic band here to demonstrate the tension that is created when we set goals. So if this is me here and this is the goal that I'm setting, when I set a stretching goal, what happens here is the elastic stretches, the tension is created, and I have 2 choices. One is I can either give up on the goal, releases the tension, it's not a very satisfactory experience, or I can move towards the goal. Again, it will release the tension, but in the movement towards the goal I start to see that it's become achievable, and then I can stretch a little bit more and keep moving in that way. Now, when I set a goal that is too challenging and too stretching, then what happens is that the tension breaks and actually people feel like the goal is impossible and therefore give up on achieving the goal. So the key here is make sure you set challenging, stretching goals, review them on a regular basis so you can reset as people start moving towards them. Now, the other piece is setting goals that are either input or output oriented. So in sales, we're very focused on making sure that we're setting goals that are based on the revenue, the margin, the outcomes that are achieved. Actually, there's some interesting work from a US psychologist called Dr. Carol Dweck, who, doing some studies on a group of children, she gave them a series of maths tests, and one group of children were praised on the outcome, the result that they achieved in the test, and the other group of children were praised on the inputs, the results were secondary. It was the concentration, the persistence, and the effort. Over a series of tests, what she found is that the children praised on the inputs started to significantly outperform the children who were praised on the outputs. And what she concluded is that there were 2 mindsets starting to emerge in these groups of children. With the children praised on the output, she found that this fixed mindset started to emerge, where there was a belief that I'm either good at maths or I'm not, that intelligence is static. And these children started to avoid challenges. They were giving up a bit more easily when they were having obstacles put in their place. Effort was fruitless or worse. They were ignoring criticism and feedback. They felt threatened by the success of others, which means they plateaued early and they achieved less than their full potential. With the other group of children, she concluded that a growth mindset was starting to emerge, where there was a belief that intelligence is something that can be developed. I can become better at maths in this case. And those children were seeming to embrace challenges. They were persisting when they came against obstacles. The path to mastery was from effort. They were learning from criticism and feedback, and they were finding inspiration from the success of others, meaning that they reached ever higher levels of achievement. Now, my view is, similar to these children, often in sales, we give the wrong kind of praise. We praise the result, the output, from hero to zero, from one set of results to the next, when actually if we focused more on how do we praise the inputs, the effort, the persistency, the activity and behaviours that the salesperson put in, we would find that we allowed our sales team to achieve ever greater degrees of outcome. The other thing I think is important in this space is to make sure that you're measuring and you're dashboarding the results that you're looking to get. So when you think about your success criteria, split it into 2 parts. On one part, what are the individual and group competency measures that I'm looking for and I would like to measure? And on the other part, what are the business impact measures? And for me, it's really crucial to make sure that you've got a dashboard in front of the team that they can access on a daily basis that demonstrates them moving towards that goal. And what we find is having a very simple but effective dashboard starts to positively impact individuals' behaviour and their ability to go on and achieve the targets that you've set. If you'd like to have a chat about this topic, then please contact me, steve@salestrong.co.uk.